back to Houston Life. Since 2006, local nonprofit Literacy Now has been on a mission to help kids become proficient readers by the end of third grade, an important milestone in literacy.
And later this week, hundreds of volunteers will come together to read to nearly 15,000 students. That is quite a number.
Lot.
Joining us now with more on the effort, CEO of Literacy Now, Jacqueline Minima Wilson. Jacqueline, welcome to Houston Life.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, why is this third grade literacy level such a critical milestone?
That's a good question. So statistics show that if children are not reading by third grade, you're really pretty much creating an indicator of what a risk of incarceration for them going forward. So if they're not reading at third grade, they're building prison cells to indicate those students that are going to go to prison.
That is just crazy. That's a crazy fact for me. So third grade teachers have a very important job.
Very important job, and parents as well too.
Yes.
And so we always look at it as a whole child approach to where classroom teachers have a lot that they have to take on too. So we're also building capacity within families as well to show what they can do at home to help promote literacy at home.
This really is a group effort and a community effort because if a child is not reading at home, they may struggle more at school.
Correct.
Talk to us about this event where you're rallying hundreds of volunteers to come together to read to 15,000 students. I mean, clearly one day is not necessarily going to make a dent, but the whole mission is to raise awareness.
Bring awareness. And so it's coming up this Friday, February 28th, our 5th annual Houston Reads Day, where we are bringing more than 400 plus volunteers to read to actually 17,000 plus students.
Wow.
17,000 plus students across the Houston area. And so this event is so critical so people are aware of the literacy crisis that's facing here in Houston. And so we have 27% of Houston area third graders are not reading on grade level. And so if we're able to bring this attention to everyone so they're aware of it, it brings the community in together to where we are doing this work together as one to make sure that we are meeting the needs of these students in the Houston area.
So let me ask you about the impact of this though, because you said one day might not make the full impact, but
Correct.
What do you expect for this to also raise awareness? Is this gonna maybe help parents? Hey, take your kids, read to them, have them read to you? Is that kind of the next step?
All of the above. It's all of the above. Honestly, so for us, we go into the schools with our flagship program, which is our reading intervention program, where we're actually working with students in a 1-to-4 classroom ratio with our trained reading intervention staff.
Okay.
And so this is bringing awareness to what we're doing in the city and what we're doing in the classrooms, as well as informing the community and parents or children who might not be in our program to say, hey, these are basic things that you can start as early as infancy. Reading to children 15 minutes a day will build those oral language skills and also early literacy skills too. So when they do go to school, they don't need our reading intervention program. So they're reading on level with their peers, but sometimes children don't have that support system. So us being in the schools to kind of offload some of the stress that the teachers have in the classroom is where we come in to contribute to what's going on in the community.
And building that foundation for lifelong success is so critical. It's so much more difficult to catch up on things that you've already missed out on.
Right.
Talk to us about this donation dollar for dollar match that you have going on right now.
So our board chair, Deepak, him and I are doing this Leaders for Readers challenge to where for every dollar that is contributed up until $6,000, we're going to match it dollar for dollar. And so whether it's $1, $25, $1,000, we're going to match it dollar for dollar up until $6,000. And so the way I look at it is $25 can easily go towards reading supplies for our small group. And if you think about it, the average person spends about $40 a week on Starbucks. So if you stop doing Starbucks for 1 week, we can use your donations.
Stop talking directly to me, Jacqueline. Stop it. I see.
So we can use those money to go towards our reading intervention program.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, it is a small amount of money.
Yeah.
I also think that whether or not you have a young person at home, this is something that affects all of us because it affects our community.
It does.
We want the young people in our community to grow up, to be successful, contributing citizens in our society.
Yes.
And when we talk about the statistics of behavioral issues, even the rate at which we're building prisons, assuming that someone without the ability to read might one day end up in prison, nothing tells the story like that.
Absolutely. And I also think too that you mentioned earlier, it's actually contributing to the community and to society. It's also contributing to the workforce. And so if you're thinking about your future workforce, you want to make sure that you're hiring employees who are able to read. And so if we're able to start it this early, and then it's a trickle effect to where you're hiring successful and literate people in your workforce.
So how can we get involved? How can we help you? How can we read? I mean, you guys know that I read to all of my nieces and nephews. They're obsessed with it. And it does make a difference in their speech as well. well.
Yes.
How can our viewers get involved?
Yes, please go to our website at literacynowhouston.org to register to be a volunteer reader. We still have 28 spots to fill. Okay. If you're unable to go that day, we really encourage you to also, you can give as well too, or just volunteer with other opportunities that we have throughout the school year.
Is there an online portion that people can do online
yes,
as well?
Yes, absolutely. If you go to our website, literacynowhouston.org, that's the first thing you see on the website is Houston Reads Day, and you can click on it and it tells you all the details and information you need to know.
Okay. All right. Well, Jacqueline Minima Wilson, CEO of Literacy Now Houston, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. You guys are great.
Well, it's an incredible effort in the community. Please get involved. Literacy Now, by the way, is encouraging Houstonians to support Houston Reads Day. For every dollar donated, as a reminder, they will personally match up to $6,000. Everything you know to get involved is on our website as well, HoustonLife.tv. Just look for that scene on Houston Life section.
All right.